Tick tock, watch the clock. World War III and Civil War on the dock. Guys, it's about to happen. Things are getting really ugly, and it's about to happen really soon. It just so happens that Iran issued a notice to Egyptian forces not to fly over their country from 4:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. this morning. Well, that time frame has already passed by a couple of hours, and a lot of people thought that was an indication of when they were about to attack. Best of my knowledge, it has not started yet. Will it? Is it about to start? Is it on the verge? We know that there are missiles in position and all kind of things, but it's not just the beginning, the dawn of World War III we're looking at. We got some real serious problems right here at home, and we're going to get all into that. So just hang on, guys. We're talking about this campaign and where it can go. We're talking about a U.S. congressman. He's basically threatened civil war on the side of the left. Guys, I kid you not. You've probably seen some of this, but I'm going to show you a kind of a smattering of things and talk about it here. And I'm also going to recommend everyone to watch Steve Poplar, his channel, The Poplar Report. He put out a great report today that you really want to see. And I'll show that toward the end of this video. You really need to go and check his channel out, subscribe to his channel. If you've not done so already, do it immediately. And watch his, he has a report that was unmonetized. I wonder why. Geez, guys, he hit it right on the head. So I highly encourage people to go check that out. And I'm going to get into the live chat here on my laptop. You notice there's a little difference back here. Why? Because I'm moving. That's why. Yeah, this is the same studio. I'm still in Alabama at the moment, but I am trying to get out of here as fast as I can. And as you can see, things are different back here. Hey, New Days, good to see you back, Sasquatch Man. All righty, guys. So we got I'm trying to I got to get up really early in the morning, so I hope I don't have to run too long, but we do have a lot to cover, so let's get straight to it. Bang, here we are. Egyptian Civil Aviation Minister said Wednesday, which is now yesterday, that it has ordered Egyptian airlines to avoid Iranian airspace for 3 hours. And those 3 hours were 4:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m., as I mentioned. Man, well, just in case you haven't noticed, it is almost 2 hours past the end of that time frame. What does this mean? Where are we heading, guys? We are in some serious, deep kimchi. Yeah, Steve has been doing a great job, Sasquatch Man. I agree. I'll show the cover of this video that you guys really ought to watch. There's no point in me saying what he said because he said it. He did a great report. I'll just refer you to it. Watch it when I show you his report. Guys, look at this. Venezuela. You know, what happened in Venezuela? All the accounts show there was a landslide election for the opposition party that the party in power would not allow the change of power for. You know, the left just don't want to give up, do they? Well, here we are, guys. That's what's happened there. You know, a real banana republic, right? Kind of like the US of A. Here we are, guys. Rep Jamie Raskin. What has he said? He said, well, let's just listen to him. No point in me saying it. Let him speak for himself. Make sure I get the volume up so that you'll hear from the speakers. I hope you can get this sound.
And it's necessary, but it's not sufficient because what can be put into the Constitution can slip away from you very quickly. And the greatest example going on right now before our very eyes is Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which they're just disappearing with a magic wand, as if it doesn't exist, even though it could not be clearer what it's stating. And so, you know,
the Supreme Court don't agree with this guy, by the way. So,
and they want to kick it to Congress.
Oh yeah, and by the way, you know, states don't see. This is about, you know, states tried to knock the T-man off the ballot. They've tried all through prior. They went after him prior to his first election. Well, that proven false dossier, which the Steele dossier, which they claimed, you know, that Trump was basically a Russian agent, and that was disproven. But then we had like 55 intelligence agents, top level brass on the state that tends to be kind of deep, went out and asserted all this stuff, signed off on it. Yay, verily. 55 of them, top brass in the United States intelligence community. We're talking the heads of the FBI, CIA, all these letter agencies. Why didn't Trump roll them earlier? And then we now know every swinging one of them lied. Anyway, here we go.
So it's going to be up to us on January 6th, 2025 to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified. And then
What?
so it's going to be up to us on January 6th, 2025 to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified. And then
What? So they're saying even if he gets elected, they're going to disqualify him. They have tried all kinds of lawfare and everything. They went after him in every direction possible since before he got elected the first time, tried to impeach him 4 times while he was president, once because he was trying to expose the graft and corruption, a crime committed by the current administration back when the current POTUS was the vice president, trying to bribe Ukraine. So he was trying to get to the bottom of that. He got impeached for it. Wow. Can you imagine that? Well, fortunately, the Congress didn't, the Senate didn't convict. But guys, this is a member of the House of Representatives. If this party takes power in the upcoming election, what are they going to do? This is what the man has just told us. He just told us here.
get to Congress. So it's going to be up to us on January 6th, 2025 to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified. And then we need bodyguards for everybody. And
oh, wow, guys, think about that. Think about this now. This is the party that claims that if the T-man gets elected, it will end democracy. Well, we don't have a democracy. Democracy is mob rule, and no country run by democracy has survived a single generation because they always vote themselves out of the largesse of the treasury until they go bankrupt, which is kind of what we're doing today because our deep state and all our bureaucracy has allowed us to be a virtual democracy, kind of, sort of, but not really, because we don't get to vote. Who gets to vote? It's the government. And do these guys honor the votes of the people? Do they honor the votes of the people that voted for Biden to be the presidential candidate? No, they took it away. All the primaries were conducted. They voted Biden in, and then there was something about, was it an internal coup in the Democratic Party, basically invalidating all the votes of their constituents? If you think it was not an internal coup, put a 1 in the chat room. If you think it was an internal coup, put a 2 in the chat room. I'd like to see what you guys think about it. Hello, Michelle Young. Good to see you in the house. John Edwards. Got somebody, 12B from 12 Bravo Infantry from Georgia. All righty. That's the way we say it. Georgia. Anyway, guys, get a load of this.
Civil war conditions, all because the 9 just
Civil war conditions. This guy has just said the Congress is going to take a vote that will put us into civil war conditions. A member of Congress sitting here in a meeting, on an interview, just talking casually as if, wow, that's not it. We'll just start a civil war. Wow. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Well, so this new ticket we got with Kamala and Tim Walz. Yeah, look at this, guys. Tim Walz is the governor of what state? And what happened under his watch? Some people are saying they're the Make America Burn Again party. Seeing a few 2s. I'm not seeing any 1s. Make America Burn Again party, because Kamala led a campaign, a fundraiser to bail out the people that were burning. And did Tim Walz stop it? He was like AWOL. Well, that's not the first time Tim Walz went AWOL, by the way. The media in Minnesota was asking, where's he at? Where's he at? He was like hiding somewhere. Well, like I said, he was AWOL, but it's not the first time he went AWOL. Now, if you read his, I think they just changed on Wikipedia, his little history here, talking about his military history. They had him at one point being a command sergeant major, and now they say, well, he got out as a master sergeant. They don't mention the command sergeant major fiasco because he was claiming to have been a command sergeant major. He apparently led his unit as if he were a command sergeant major. He was on the verge of being promoted to that, but he did not fulfill the requirements, the training requirements for it, so he was demoted. Not only that, when he got his, he was with his, he stayed in 24 years, all kind of peacetime activations, and doing some of the job the Guard's supposed to do. But when his unit got prepared to be sent to Iraq, what did he do? He bailed, went AWOL once again. Wow. And he's furthermore made claims that he carried a weapon of war in a war, and it compares stuff the American citizens have to that. No, we don't have the same. Nobody, no fighting soldier on the planet carries an AR. None. He should know better, but that's, he don't care. It's all about their political expediency. And let's listen to what he's had to say.
But we can get out there, reach out, make the case. And for one thing, don't ever shy away from our progressive values. One person's socialism is another person's neighborliness. But
what? This guy is a socialist. Obviously. Make America burn again. Wow. And these guys are leading in the polls, according to the news media, or whatever that's worth, actually leading in the polls. Today, POTUS had a nice Freudian slip with his comment on transfer of power in January. Yeah, I saw that too. Oh my gosh, guys, where are we going? No matter what party wins, it's going to be ugly, that's for sure. And of course, well, you know who really won. And even CNN attacked his, and we're going to show some more, attacked his false valor, which is actually a crime. It's a crime. It was passed as a crime back in 2006 to claim that you were a combat veteran, and when you actually weren't. And this is, Waltz did make a comment. He's done it a couple of times where he's used a language that's suggesting that he carried weapons in a fighting situation. There's no evidence of that. In fact, he did. So here's what his fellow Guard members had to say about it. One of them.
Pathetic his leadership was as a National Guardsman.
On a 150-year-old farm in Brewster, Tom Behrens hopes his tell it like it is style will finally get the attention he believes it deserves in Minnesota's race for governor. In a way, he's back again to wait.
So this is a guy who served in the same unit. Supposedly, got a problem with my power here. What's going on? He served in the same unit. Let's see.
Wage a public war of words against Tim Walz.
So what he's got to say about it, put it on his tower there. I want to skip ahead. I got to be careful playing something off the news.
Years earlier, when Behrens says Walz's misleading statements about his military service first led him to come forward in the fall of 2018.
So you try to get this message out, but Minnesota's largest newspaper checks it out, says it's 100% true, but yet refuses to print.
They won't print it. It's true, but we won't print it. What about that, guys? Do we have is a withholding of information misinformation? I think so. Withhold information is a form of misinformation. We used to call that a lie.
What the hell is this North Korea?
Back in 2005, a warning
Amen, New Days.
order went out to the 1st Battalion, 125th Field Artillery to mobilize for a mission to Iraq. At the time, Walz served as the unit's highest non-commissioned officer, but months later, Walz would retire from the Guard, avoid the deployment, and run for Congress.
We've got Congress. We got a Congress lady who's actually an active military reserve, and she's gone to combat. I wonder how she feels about this.
Tom Behrens was next in line for the position and was asked to take his place.
I was like, well, for Pete's sake, if this guy quit, if I say I'm not going to do it, I mean, what the hell kind of leadership is that?
What kind of leadership is that? Well, a man who's being run as the vice president candidate with the current vice president, one heartbeat away from the top position in the United States of America. Amen, Arnold. Amen. Well, they're trying to turn the United States into Canada. And they're trying to turn the United States and Canada into Great Britain. Well, here we are. This is Walls actually making one of his statements where he kind of alludes to the idea that he carried a weapon of war in war.
Hope woke up like many of you did 5 weeks ago and Dad said, Dad, you're the only person I know who's in elected office. You need to stop what's happening with this. I'll take my kick in the butt for the NRA. I spent 25 years in the Army and I hunt.
At 25 years, wait a minute, he's in the Guard, not the Army. He was in the Guard for 24 years. He just kind of amps everything up, amps up his rank, said he was a command sergeant major, which if you didn't retire with that rank, that's not what you should be claiming, and just goes on and on.
And I gave the money back, and I'll tell you what I have been doing. I've been voting for common sense legislation that protects the Second Amendment, but we can do background.
Really? Let's see what he really does. This guy's as liberal as they come.
Yeah, we can do CDC research. We can make sure we don't have reciprocal carry among states, and we can make sure that those weapons of war that I carried in war is
the weapons of war that I carried in war. He said a weapon of war he carried in war. Well, this is not what's on the street of America. It is not what's on the street of America. And an AR has never been carried in war.
the only place where those weapons are.
See, they always like to confuse these issues. Anyway, well, thank you, Kamala, you border czar, for all the great work you've done on the border. I must give you the biggest heartfelt thank you for protecting the border, Kamala. Key Homeland Agency warns agents that Iran proxies may try to cross the border to attack the United States. Knock, knock. Hey, they've been here. What I've been telling you guys since the inception of this channel. The head of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard said over a decade ago that they had already targeted 20 of our substations. What else have they targeted? How many do they have here? How many more have come across our wide open borders since? What else are they targeting? Now we're on the verge of potential war with Iran, and we've got a party that's been very friendly to Iran, sending a lot of money over there. At the same time, they've been funding their proxies, which have been attacking American troops. We just had American troops in Iraq attacked again. 5 taken out. Well, not casualties, but not fatalities. But gosh, guys, you know, the media just likes to not connect the dots. Well, you know, what's it take? A rocket scientist to connect the dots? Well, I might be one, but it don't take a rocket scientist to see this. Guys, with everything happening, you better consider where the economy's going. It's you know, their stock market is shaky. I think it's had a dead cat bounce, which might have got gold to go down just a little bit. It's still up high. I'm no financial advisor, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it go a lot higher really soon. Wouldn't surprise me. Would it surprise you? If you go to Defy the Grid, you can get gold, silver, platinum, and coin, bullion. Get those bars down there. Or you can get what I like. I like these little gold backs because it's real gold. And it comes in metered amounts like this one I got right here, which is 1/1000th of a troy ounce. You can put in your wallet. And you can go barter and trade with it and trade, you know, for like eggs and bread. Kind of hard to do when you got a bar of gold. Just something to think about. Now, there's an ad that Trump put out, which I think, you know, kind of spills the beans on Waltz a little bit, some of his background, so you can get an idea of what he's done as governor, which might indicate what he might do as a VP. Hey, Central Alabama, good to see you here. Hey, Rex is in the house, eh? Hello, Rex. Where's he at? Miss Rex? Rex Bear is in the house. Oh, we got a donation. Rodney Middleton. Hey, Rodney, salute to you. Thank you for the super chat, Rodney. All righty. Thank you much. Rodney rocks. He is an expert knife maker. All righty, guys, let's watch this.
So let's get right into it.
This is off another channel. I hadn't found it on X. I probably could. This is a Trump campaign ad, I think, talking about this VP.
What could be weirder than signing a bill into law that requires schools to stock tampons in boys' bathrooms?
Stock tampons in boys' bathrooms. So now they're calling him Tampon Tim. So guys, seriously, now whatever adults want to do in their privacy is one thing, but putting stuff on kids is a whole nother matter. Are we contributing to the delinquency of minors with all these policies and things they're pushing? Kids that hadn't even had their hormones kick in, they don't even know who they're going to be, and you're trying to get them to alter themselves permanently before that, when they don't even know.
Or weirder than signing legislation allowing minors to receive sex change operations?
Minors. Now, this is what the governor of Minnesota has been supporting, stuff like this, guys. Our new candidate for VP, running with the current VP, Line Rex. Hey, how you doing? Oh, not the Rex Bear thought. Oh, okay, so it's Line Rex. Okay. So we don't have Rex Bear in the house. All righty. Well, he does join us from time to time. Now what's a boy going to do with a tampon? Yeah, they might be. Well, the pads might be good if you got a chest wound to stop a sucking wound. I've told you guys about that. So, yeah, it's just the reason we're talking about how weird this is because there's been a big campaign trying to say that J.D. Vance is weird. Oh, I didn't bring up the video. He actually went on the tarmac, strode up right up to the press reporters trying to cover Kamala because Kamala was evading questions, and he knew that before he even got there. And so he was parodying it. So he really stole the hour. J.D. Vance, straight from Kamala. A lot of people think, oh, J.D. Vance is such a terrible blah, 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 blah. I don't see it, guys. And the whole saying that Trump would be ashamed of him, would dump him. It's probably more likely Kamala would dump Waltz, maybe, but they're so much alike. Waltz and Kamala. Kamala. Yeah, I'll pray you do.
Try electing the man who signed those bills Vice President of the United States. Enter Chief Weirdo Tim Walz. As governor of Minnesota, Walz supported legislation that endangers minors, hurts women, and puts radical ideology ahead of common sense. Now Kamala wants Walz to
Jackals, Kamala.
enforce those laws on a national scale. Tim Walz, too weird, too radical.
Wow, what do y'all think? What do y'all make of that? I'm just showing y'all some ads here. And here's from the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott. Said he let cities in his state burn down. She helped bail out the arsonists. What he's saying is they're a perfect pair. She supports free health care to illegal immigrants. He signed laws giving state services to them. Both provide magnets for more illegal immigration. What did I say earlier about the border? What's coming across? Jeez, oops, I can't play that. That's just one of the memes going around. Some people think that he's done something in that regard. I don't know. But, hey, we got a freedom to have memes. Although they want to take that away from us. And listen to this guy talk about it here. They want to take away free speech. The party that claims that the T-Man will destroy democracy? You got a republic, for Pete's sake. So anyway, they tried to change the narrative. Listen to this, guys.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation.
Well, what's misinformation? See, it's all in the eye of the beholder. That's why we have free speech, because we don't need a government telling us what to say, especially when you consider 55 agents lied to us through the teeth, top brass in the federal government, about the Steele dossier. And we're going to have them tell us what's misinformation, have social media tell us, which is in bed with them and sometimes being directed by them.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on.
No guarantee to free speech. Free speech is to any speech.
Misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
Our democracy. See there, what democracy? This guy's ignoramus, a coward, somebody who ran from duty and claimed valor. Jeez. If he were to become the president, we'd have to call him the coward in chief. So here's, as command sergeant major, he was a command sergeant. I had the responsibility not only to my battalion for blah, 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 I'm not going to fill that, but you know, more of those claims. And then there's Mark Cuban talking about Tim Walz. You can sit at a kitchen table and make you feel like you've known him forever. Mark Cuban, what a puke. Mark Cuban, you are a puke, a pure putrid puke. There's freedom of speech. Stick that in your ear. But guess what, guys? If you go back to the old media, you might see and learn a whole lot about Kamala. There she is with who? Willie Brown. And this was published in November 8th, 1995 edition of the St. Louis, I don't know how to say that, Polk County Telegram Tribune, kissing a married man. And she's not just kissing him. It looked like there's some tongue in play there. I kid you not. Gross. And he published this. This guy looks like he's in shock. I would be too. Holy guacamole, smoke-a-moly. Makes you think. I kind of predicted this, didn't I? Remember this?
His mush from mine is melting down as his pearls drop into.
They're not playing. Oh, they must be messing with me here. That's not the right video. Let's try it again.
Amid a Biden re-election gallery, listen to campaign talk that sounds just like the Kabbalah. Kabbalah. She looked over at Biden with a devious glance. Next president, she said in a dark brown voice, would be Kamala. 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 Well, I'm not the world's most political guy, but when I heard what she said, I broke out in a whine. Oh, my Kamala, Kamala. Well, she said, one thing you can plainly see is when you voted for Joe, you voted for me. Oh, my Kamala.
Wow, you know what? This happened ahead of my own prediction there. Look at this. They all voted for Joe in the primary, and really it was Kamala. Wow, what a prediction I made here.
Kamala. She looked Amendment 25, Article 4, and threw Joe Biden on the floor. President Kamala. Kamala. Well, now we have the final scare. Missiles to Russia are in the air. Thank you, President Kamala. Kamala. President Kamala. Oh, my geeks. Subscribe, ring the bell, and click up.
All right, share that video. That's in my short sections. Wow, guys, did that come to pass already? Jeez. Now talking about free speech and memes. You know, in Great Britain, this is what Steve Poplar was talking about. In Great Britain, they're throwing people in jail for posts on social media. Yeah, arresting them, beating their doors down, pulling them out of their houses and arresting them because they post something on social media that the police or the government don't like. So here's Liz Churchill. She's got an interesting little channel here on X. You might check her out. Not only is UK asking to extradite Elon Musk for meme crimes, they're now telling their people that they'll be prosecuted if they share any information on the current UK riots. Wow. Wow. And you know what we've been hearing about it over there? After hearing Steve Poplar, I realized that, you know, what you're getting out of the news media, like Paul Harvey said, it's not the rest of the story. Steve Poplar, he gives you the rest of the story, the Paul Harvey version. Oh yeah, there they are. I can't show a riot, so we'll skip it. This is the video you ought to check out on the Poplar channel. It's the Poplar Report. Go there, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and watch it. And tell him that Greg Allison via Swivelhead News sent you there. He knows me. He's actually emailed me a couple times wanting to do another joint video session. I need to do that with him. I've just been so busy working day jobs and moving. Show you lots of the Kamala. Well, you know, that came from La Lola. About another bait and switch story, right? Bait and switch. Lola, Kamala. I don't know, to me it all sounds the same. Yeah. All right, guys. You know, now we find out that, you know, they told us that the guys that were in that building with the window that oversaw the roof where the alleged shooter was located left their post, which was heinous. Well, it turns out only one of them left the post. According to more recent reports that I'm seeing, so some of the claims being made, and supposedly even he got back before the bang bang started happening. So, you know, they had all these stories. There couldn't have been no one on the roof because it was so steep. It was a risk. No risk. 1 foot drop over 12 foot's nothing. That's practically a flat roof, flatter than the roof of my tiny home in Arizona that I thought was flat because this 1 foot and 10 foot. Guys, and then they said, well, it was too hot. It was so hot that guy laid down on top of the roof and went bang, bang. No, it wasn't too hot, wasn't too steep. All kinds of excuses. Well, now they're saying that now it's been figured out that we're up there. Well, their cone that they could see was too tight for them to see what was going on over here on the roof. Well, we've seen people up here with cameras taking pictures from these windows. You tell me, couldn't they not see that entire roof? I mean, this stuff just starts stacking up. There's a real rat in this wood pile somewhere. A real rat. Jeez. Where is it? What is it, guys? Israel cannot be safe, annihilation, says the Iranian army commander. Well, that may go for both countries. You know, we're on the cusp of potential cusp of something crazy. Now, there's been some reports that maybe Iran would reconsider that since we've sent so much firepower over there, like an entire F-22 squadron from Elmendorf Air Force Base in Alaska. F-22 is the most advanced fighter aircraft in the world, bar none. I mean, it's got such good stealth capabilities. It looks like an insect, far better than F-35. It's not as versatile with so many multi-roles as F-35, but it's a fighter jet. Nothing else comes close. It can see and engage the enemy from farther distances than anything else. It is a very, very powerful aircraft, and if you were up against it, you ought to be shaking in your boots. But I don't know. And here's something Israel has. You know, they've got quite a few missiles. They got various versions of what they call a Popeye. One of them is to come up out of their submarines. They've got 5 submarines, I believe, that carry 4 of these in each one, and they've got a range that on May 2000 test engaged the target at 930 miles. Guys, that's far enough to hit Tehran from, maybe offshore from Lebanon or, you know, just out in the Mediterranean. So, and so they can carry quite a weapon. We're talking quite a punch. So that would be 20 warheads if everything else were taken out between all their different submarines, if they should be able to fill them all. But even a couple of them could rain down 8. That would be devastating to anybody that would want to take that on. So the idea that Israel might get wiped out, well, they may not be alone. Of course, you know, there are some deep bunkers in Iran. Iran's a big country, unlike Israel. So Israel's going to see a lot worse trouble there. But Israel thinks Hezbollah is going to be the first one to hit. I don't know, guys. That's sort of some of their latest talk. Oh, yeah, and Kamala was telling people to be quiet, you know, recently. She was telling, shh, you know, some of the protesters. We don't want to lose the Jewish vote. But anyway, she's, I'll talk, well, this is a new article that's in what was up here earlier. So, guys, something else to bear in mind is that Israel has existed as a nation for 76 years. There was once a Christian nation there, back in the days of the Crusades. And after they first took Jerusalem, they held it for 88 years. Then Saladin took them out of Jerusalem, but they actually recaptured Jerusalem. And the total time that the Christian kingdom in Palestine, Israel, whatever you want to call it, in that area of the Levant was almost 200 years. Well, Israel survived that long? I don't know. But guys, just to show you by comparison, that the local Muslims in the area, they do not want anybody else in there whatsoever. So, well, furthermore, Putin, well, he's got the Kursk Oblast actually got an invasion from, I'll show you that in a little bit. I'll after do this, we'll switch. They got invaded by Ukraine army. It was kind of a surprise to him, and Putin's apparently kind of angry over that. So, it might be their last Hail Mary. It might be their Gettysburg for the Ukrainian troops. But they're trying to do some big Hail Mary now. Will they succeed? I would tend to think probably not, but, war is a fickle thing. We shall see. Earthquakes. Guys, there's something interesting going on down here on the San Andreas Fault almost. Look at this. There's a whole bunch of earthquakes stacking up in here. We had a 4.0 in Destin Acres. Then we had a lot of aftershocks in here after that Grapevine. I mean, just all around there. But apparently they're 4.4 Grapevine. Yeah, so guys, there's been a lot of shaking down in the vicinity of the San Andreas. Something about to go off, and of course we've got the obligatory earthquake down here in Toya, Texas. We see them a lot, or over here in New Mexico side. Ackerley, we got one in Oklahoma, Stonewall. But named after Stonewall Jackson? I don't know. Surprised they ain't made them change the name of their town. Like they did all the military bases. Like Fort Bragg, which to me will always be Fort Bragg. Always the Tonga area's got something going on. But, it's nothing super major right now on the earthquake side. But the weather, we had this Hurricane Debbie become a tropical storm, went out over the oceans, come back in on South Carolina. I was at Fort Jackson when we had one of these come in. It was pretty horrendous. Back when I was in basic training in Washington, D.C., is getting some drenching. Good for them. They need a good washing up in there. Washington needs washing. Well, I'm not going to go through all the weather in the world tonight. I hear China got hit by something big. It's probably gone by now. China had some major storms. Looks like it's all petered out. There's a lot of stuff out here in the Pacific. Guys, to be weather aware. I'm just going to stop the share on that. Maybe we'll look at the Kursk Oblast here. Share. Do we have back over to that. Back to where am I springing? There it is. Do share again. Stop that, but then show if I go for it again now. There it is. So here's the Kursk Oblast. Apparently they've got pretty deep in there and took some villages. There's heavy Russian forces all in here making advances. So they just kind of found an open spot, went in. Now, if they were really smart and really had a true military capability, they would actually be going behind the front lines of the troops that are hitting them. And they did not do that, probably because they don't have the wherewithal for it, which is what they should have done back in their last spring offensive, which occurred last fall, I believe, maybe last winter. So that's what I said. When I said, I figured then they lost the war because they couldn't pull that off. So they're just making a big run around Hail Mary strike over here. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe something will come out of that. But, I wouldn't hold my breath because I think, in this war of attrition, Ukraine's at a decided disadvantage against Russia. So there you go, guys. There you go, the Kamala links. All righty, folks. It is 1:25. I got to get up in a little bit. I got a meeting early in the morning. So chat disconnected. Wait a minute. What? So my chat's disconnected. Let's see if I lost internet over here on this computer. Had a bad tendency for that. Yep, that's what's going on. So I might have missed all kind of stuff. Jeez, what's going on here? See if I can regather what you guys have been chatting with over here. It says connected. Now let's see what I've been missing. I don't think no, it's not updated the chat for me. Pull it up over here. Open another screen, I think. Oh yeah, just for information, Jerusalem was captured by the Crusades in 1099. Solomon retook it in 1187, but then they recaptured it and had a treaty in 1229 that restored Jerusalem to the Christians, and they held it to 1291. So there you go, guys. That's the details on that. So that's it. Get the chat come up here on the side where I can see it all. Super chat from Leslie. Okay, let's see what that is. Now I can see the chat. Leslie Maddock, thank you for keeping us posted. Salute, thank you, Leslie. Yeah, I lost the chat. I try to keep it up on a separate screen on another computer, but it lost the internet for some reason. So thank you. Thank you, Leslie Maddock. Yeehaw. Matlock, excuse me. Leslie Matlock, pardon me. It's late. Well, it's late for me now because I have to get up so early. Man pond, says audio. Lordy, lordy, good fire starters. Yeah, just put a little Vaseline in them. That'd do the job. Michael F. Democracy is two wolves and a sheep deciding what's for dinner. There you go. Yeah, they keep talking about democracy. Rodney says, ew, tongue, yucky. No, no kidding. Publicly, too. Jeez, publicly. That's the sick thing about it. Publicly. Yeah, right. I guess he is pissed at being invaded. Picking on somebody can be fun, says Michelle. Yeah, hatred is a bad thing. It always comes back on you. Sailor Spirit, I was just informed Russian ships arrived in Venezuela. That wouldn't surprise me. General Sorrow. Right. What you miss in a nutshell? Well, we're ticking into war, and we got stolen valor and all kind of putridness with the current candidate to become VP. Yeah, go back and rewind it. I can't do the show all over again. Just go back and do the rewind, and make sure you check out Steve Popular with the Popular channel. Yeah. So how come this chat over here, even though I reconnected the internet web, is not? And just refresh, total refresh on this page and see if it works. There it is. All right, very good. Ooh, I am burning up. It's hot in here. Anyway, guys, no bookshelf, no keep this place clean and orderly sign over here. Yeah, that stuff is out. And this stuff here will soon be out. And I will soon be out. That's what I'm working on. Yeah. Hey, Tony Robinson, how you doing? Also lifted threat level in Australia to Provo. Oh, Rodney. Tampon Tim. Hey, deep function 100,000 -1. All righty, folks, it's late. I got to go because I got to get up like just a little bit. I got to get up. I got a meeting real early. I'm back on having day job work. So I'm trying to move and run a day job and everything else. I am really behind the ball. Yeah, it's hard for me to find time to do a video. Oh, one final thing. Favorite president of all time. Ronnie Reagan. Look at this. See, I got a personally autographed picture of Ronnie Reagan. Says, Greg, with my deepest personal regards, Ronald Reagan. I read it out in case there's any young whippersnappers in here that can't read cursive. There it is. If there's any youngsters in here that can't read cursive, I just read it for you. Ronnie Reagan. Give y'all a little background. I joined Jimmy Carter's rag bag army. My room's clean, and it's because I'm moving. All that stuff's gone. I joined Jimmy Carter's rag bag army. Oh my God, it was a rag bag outfit when I joined. It was pitiful. The equipment didn't work. The esprit de corps was nowhere to be found. I had a unit with 250 people in it. I was the unit armorer. We had only 200 M16s. Only 40 of them actually functioned. Only 40 for a unit of 250 people. Yet we packed up to go. We had all our stuff on the tarmac at Pope Air Force Base because they told us we were going to Iran to free the hostages. Well, it turned out they made a late decision. That must have been weighing different options. They decided to use a smaller force. And what was the failings in that force? Well, command structure, communications, and spare parts. Duh. Why did most of my M16s, why did 160 of my 200 M16s not function? 160 would not function. If you pulled the trigger, it wouldn't even go snap. Because they were missing itty bitty, teensy wincy little things like the ejector spring that would make the round go out of the chamber, or the extractor that would pull the round out of the chamber once it was fired. You can pull it out, you can eject it out. So if you can manage to get one in there, it was a single shot at best. It didn't jam on for other reasons. A whole bucket of them at that time might have cost $5. Probably not even that. Couldn't get them. I had them on order forever. When Ronnie Reagan became president, poof, they all came in. All kind of stuff started coming in. The military changed. The spirit of corps went up too. It was like a different military overnight. Snap of a finger, twinkle of an eye. It changed. I served under Ronald Reagan in the United States Army. Went to Fort Bragg. I was at Fort Bragg. Went to Fort Greeley, Alaska. Cold regions testing. Got out, joined the National Guard. Then, I tried to stay in my unit though at Fort Bragg, and they got sent to Grenada. Had I stayed in that unit as I petitioned to, I would have got a battle ribbon. Rather than run, I tried to stay. But anyway, Fort Greeley, Alaska was a great place. I love Alaska. So when we had a weak president, what happened? Everybody abused us. Podunk Little Iran, back then they were a podunk country, took 400 U.S. hostages and held them for a long time. Carter couldn't do nothing about it. But when Ronald Reagan took that stand to swear in, they got rid of them hostages so fast their head would have spun. So we don't want to hold these guys with Ronnie Reagan in the White House. June, they pushed them out. And of course, then I went to college. And after I got out of college, I got to work on the Space Station Freedom Project started by Ronnie Reagan. When I was in college, I managed a co-op for the Strategic Defense Initiative Organization under the Space Defense Command with the ERIS Project Office. That's the Exo-Atmospheric Reentry Subsystem. So I got to work on Ronnie Reagan's Star Wars program. Wasn't that sweet? And then I got to work on his Freedom Space Station. Don't you love freedom? Haven't I talked a lot about freedom on here? Yeah, share my videos on freedom. That's what the young people need. Thanks, Greg. I gotta go. Have a blessed day, everyone. Yeah, I gotta go too, guys. Thank you, New Days, for being here. Thank you, one and all. I'm going to go. I just wanted to kind of lay that on you guys. When you got a strong president, things go well. You got a weak president, it goes to, well, what runs with that? And where are we at today? War raging everywhere. Economy's in the tanks. Gas prices are up. Interest rates up. The stock market's down. Sounds like something that Hank Williams Jr. would be singing. Right, country boy will survive. But you survive too. Prep. Get ready. They don't look good right now. Get ready. Don't waste your time. Get your preps in order. Don't waste time about it, my friends. Anyway, go check out Steve Poplar. We'll talk more in the not too distant future. Thank you one and all for watching. Thank you, Super Chatters. Thank you, mods, and everyone for watching. To one and all, I'm going to say